Good morning, students. So we have done journal entry, its meaning, features, advantages of journal entry. So how to pass a journal entry we have done. Now let's go to the deeper of journal entry. And there are two types of journal entry. One is simple journal entry and another is compound journal entry. So there are two types of journal entry. One is simple journal entry and another is compound journal entry. So what is simple journal entry? Simple journal entry, this is an entry in which there is only one debit and one credit. That means only two accounts are affected. One account is debit affected, another account is always credit. And these two debit and credit are always equal as per the double entry system. So in the simple journal entry, only two accounts head are affected. One account is always debit and another account is always credit. So this type of entry is called as a simple journal entry, in which only two accounts are affected. One account is always debit, another account is always credit, and these two debit and credit amount are always equal. So this is a simple journal entry. So suppose, for example, of simple journal entry, business started with cash. Business started with cash account debited to capital account. Cash account and capital account affected. Cash account is debited and capital account is credited. Goods purchased by cash. Goods purchased for cash. Purchase account is debited, cash account is credited. Purchase account debited to cash account. This is journal entry. Goods sold for cash. Cash account debited to sales. Only two accounts here are affected. Goods sold for cash. Cash account is affected. Cash account is debited, and sales account is credited. Sales account is affected. So cash account and sales account is affected when the goods are sold for cash. Cash account debited to sales account. So these are the examples of a simple journal entry. So suppose, for example, again, salary paid to employees. Salary paid to employees. In this transaction, only two accounts head are affected. Those two accounts head are salary account and cash account. Salary account is an expenses, so it is debited. As a nominal account is the expenses, so this is a debited. Salary account is debited and cash is going out, cash is credited. Cash is an asset, cash is a real account, so cash is decreasing, cash is going out, so cash is credited. So salary account is debited, cash account is credited. So salary paid to the employees. The salary account is affected, cash account is affected, salary account debited to cash account. So this is the example of simple journal entry. Rent paid, rent account debited to cash. Electricity bill paid, electricity bill account debited to cash. Transportation paid, transportation account debited to cash. Cash received from Rahul, cash account debited to Rahul account. Cash is coming in, cash account debited to Rahul account. So these are the examples of a simple journal entries. Now next is, what is compound journal entry? So next type of entry is compound journal entry. So in this compound journal entry, so compound journal entries are those entries in which more than two accounts head are affected. More than two accounts head are affected. That means the debit account may be more than one, or credit account may be more than one. Sometimes there may be two debit, one credit, or sometimes there may be one debit account affected, two credit account affected, or sometimes there may be two debit, two credit. Sometimes there may be three debit, three credit. Sometimes two debit, three debit, only one credit. So some entries we have done in our exercise also last time. So like business started with cash and bank balance. Business started with cash and bank balance. Cash account debited, bank account debited to capital account. So there are two accounts is debited, one account is credited. Cash account is debited, bank account is debited. Total of cash and bank is capital account. Suppose, say for example, cash open business with a cash 2,000 and bank 5,000. So total 7,000. So cash account debited 2,000, bank account debited 5,000, and capital account is credited by 7,000. So in this way, two debit and one credit is affected here. Business started with, suppose for example, business started with cash, bank, furniture, machinery. When the owner started the business, he bring cash into the business. He also has a bank balance that also he used in the for the purpose of business. He has his own furniture and he brought that in the business use. He has his own machine, so that also he brought in the business. So whatever he brought in the business, all are capital. So what he brought cash account debit, he brought bank account debit, he brought furniture account debit, he brought machinery account debit, cash account debit, bank account debit, furniture account debit, machinery account debited to capital account. Whatever total of all debit is capital account. He brought cash, bank, machinery, furniture. The total amount of these four items will be the capital. So business started with cash, bank balance, furniture, and machinery. Here four accounts are debited, and only one account is credited. So this type of entries are called as a compound journal entry. In this compound journal entry, more than two accounts are affected. It may be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. So more than two accounts are affected. In simple, only two accounts are affected, but in the compound journal entry, more than two accounts are affected. So it may be number of accounts may be debited, number of accounts may be credited. So sometimes one account is debited, three accounts are credited. Sometimes four account is debited, only one account is credited. Sometimes two accounts is debited, two accounts is credited. Three accounts is debited, three accounts credited. So, but more than one account is debited or more than one account is credited. More than one, 2, 3, 4, how much? More than one account is debited or more than one account is credited. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So more than one account is credited. So when more than one account that is debited or more than one account is credited, so it is called as a compound journal entry. So in which at least the account affected are more than two. This type of entries are called as a compound journal entries. So let's have a look of this compound journal entries. So I'm showing you some of the compound journal entries in my board. So now let's take this illustration. Business started with the following: cash 10,000, stock 15,000, furniture 5,000, and machinery 20,000. So here these are the assets in which business started. Whatever introduced in the business is called as capital. So here all these are to be debited. Cash account is to be debited, stock account debited, machinery account debited, furniture account debited. The total of this are called as capital. Capital is whatever introduced in the business is called capital. Here cash is introduced, stock is introduced, furniture is introduced, machinery is introduced in the business. So capital does not mean only cash introduced in the business. Whatever you bring in the business to start the business, to commence the business is called as capital. It's not necessary that cash is the capital. So capital means whatever introduced in the business is called capital. So here you are starting the business with the cash, stock, furniture, and machinery. So here the entry, compound entry is to give the date 1st April 2020. Cash account debited. Cash account debited. Stock account debited. Furniture account debited. Machinery account debited to capital account. Cash is 10,000, stock is 15,000, furniture is 5,000, and machinery is 20,000. The total of this is 60,000. 20, 30, 40, 50,000. 50,000. So business started with various assets. You can also give you can also add the name of his asset. Business starting with cash, stock, machinery, furniture. So these are the
assets account to be debited. So here 4 accounts are debited: cash account debited, stock account debited, furniture account debited, machinery account debited to capital account. So this is the, here more than one account is debited. So this entry is the example of a compound entry in which there is more than one account is debited. So this is the compound journal